welcome to Thursday, or like I like to call it, Friday Eve. The Desk Fairy paid us a visit, and check out what the kids got on their desk. Good morning, welcome to Thursday, or like I like to call it, Friday Eve. Today we are going to, and I just drew a blank because I knew what I was gonna say, but then it just left my mind, just like that. All right, but I do remember this. I am going to make it my personal goal today to make sure that I leave right after Girls in the Run, because I just realized that I have been staying in school for far too long the last 3 days. On Monday, I stayed in school till about 7 p.m. On Tuesday, I stayed in school till about 5 something, but then I went to the university and then I didn't get home past 10 o'clock because after I left the university, I had to go to Target to buy some things. And then last night, after school, I went to an open house for my son's school and I was there past 7 and I didn't get home till past 8. So I'm going to make it a point today to get home as soon as I can. I do have Girls in the Run today. It is Thursday, but I want to make sure that as soon as the last girl is picked up, I grab my things, I grab my son, and we go home. And we relax and we rest because I deserve it. And I've been pulling too many hours already as it is. But anyway, I digress. It is the 7th week of school. We are going to work on our Genius Plaza ebook today for slow versus fast changes. Slow changes being erosion, weathering, and deposition. Fast changes being natural disasters. So they're going to create an ebook where they talk about what those slow changes are, what are the fast changes, and they're going to add another page where they compare and contrast those slow and fast changes. So maybe 2 more pages. So one page will compare the slow and fast changes so that they can say how they are similar, and then another page that will contrast those two so that they can say how they are different. So we're gonna work on that. This is the first time they're gonna be doing this type of ebook and this type of activity with Genius Plaza. So I'm curious to see how long it actually takes us to do it. So let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll take a couple of snippets here and there of that. But we're gonna start doing that first thing this morning after they do their warm-up. So it's time for me to let them in, and I'll check back with you later. My good teacher friends has an awesome shirt that I just had to put in the blog because we just finished doing the moon faces. Not face, say hi, Junie.
Hi. Language arts and science.
So true. Because it's totally a pun. I love it. So I just had to share that. Cool shirt, right, class? Yeah. All right, so right now it is my planning time, and I didn't get a chance to take video clips of the students working on their ebook storyboards, but I wanted to show you my example so you can kind of have an idea what I put together to help them make a storyboard of their ebook before they actually sat behind the computer or electronic device to create their ebook. So this is what I put together. All right, so here is the template for the ebook storyboard. They put their title and they draw a picture to go with the title. And I let them know the picture and the title give an idea of what the whole thing will be about. So it's attached to the main idea, so it's very important that they choose something that is related to the topic of the ebook. On the board, we went ahead and we brainstormed together different title ideas for this kind of ebook, which is about slow and fast changes. And these are the ideas that they came up with, and of course they could choose from this list or they could create their own as inspired by this list. So the rest of the ebook was structured in the following way, and I did staple it on the side so it can kind of open like a book. And here I had them answer the question, what are slow changes? Draw a picture associated with slow changes. What are fast changes? And draw a picture associated with that. How are slow and fast changes similar? Because we are going over the text structure of compare and contrast, and I told them, make sure you use keywords that let you know that you're doing comparison, how they are alike. So both, also, etc. And how are slow and fast changes different? And the same thing, difference and contrast and in contrast. And again, they draw a picture related to what this section is about, and they drew a picture related to what this section was about. Then I had them write a summary, a very short summary about what the whole thing was about. And here I decided to do this, but the kids did their own drawings, and maybe I can show you a couple of examples. So here is slow and steady versus fast and powerful, and these are his illustrations. And here's some more. And I like that they even included caption because in the book that is similar too. And that is pretty amazing. This represents the landslide, which was part of the passage that we were reading to complete this assignment. And here is his illustration and his information. And here is his summary. So here's some other ones. I'll just show you some of the covers that they created. Some of them haven't finished, obviously, because it is taking us a little bit longer than what we anticipated, but that's okay. They're still doing learning. They're still going over the standards. So yeah, so you can see a couple of different examples. This is cute. It's like the volcano versus the Grand Canyon. That was his idea for that. And here's another example, and another one, and another one. You get the idea. So that is what the kids were working on today. Now, along with that storyboard that they created before we went into that, because I wanted to show them what a storyboard was, I did find a little video on YouTube with Brian Lasseter going over the whole process of using storyboards to create the movie Finding Nemo. So I thought that was really cool. And we did have some technology glitches because that's what will happen with technology. We're still trying to figure it out, which is not a problem. And once we get through the kinks, because this is the first time we're doing this, then I think it's going to go a lot smoother as we keep working on it and we figure out the ways to go around all those little glitches that we had this morning. But that's all that we did this morning. And then the kids are in PE. After PE, we're going to go into math, and we need to catch up on social studies. So we're going to be working on that after PE. So, all right, I have a parent conference that I need to attend to right now. So I will probably catch up with you at the end of the day.
Get in the moment. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Show me some movement. Yeah, you can do it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We won't be broke forever. We won't be broke forever. We won't be broke forever. We won't be broke
All right, so it's the end of the day, and as you saw, the students were able to do their social scientist sorting activity as a group, and I took some clips of that so you could see that. They did a really wonderful job. I also let them know that the desk fairy had sent me a message and let me know that she might be stopping by for a visit. So they made sure their desks were all clean. And I also let them know that the desk fairy's friend, the room fairy, might be coming in to make sure our room is nice and neat and clean, and the floors are clean, the chairs are stacked, and the chair pockets are nicely folded and put away. So they make sure that before they left the room really clean, because you never know when those fairies may pop in. After all, we do have our fairy door above our classroom door, which is so cute. And thank you, my friend Jennifer from Glitter and Gems, who actually gifted me that fairy door over the summer. All right, so I have changed. I put my hair up in a ponytail. I am taking my cap this time in case we're running outside and the sun is really hot, so I can at least protect my head, and maybe that can kind of cool me off, because on Tuesday it was way too hot when we were doing our mile run. But I am on my way to Girls on the Run, and I'll be sure to also take a couple of clips of that, and I'll check back with you before I leave today. Hi there again. As you can probably tell from my appearance, it is the end of Girls in the Run. I did not reach a mile exactly because we did the track around our school in the field. So it's not exactly the track that we were in on Tuesday. So I only got to go around the track, I think it was 5 times, and that was a little bit over 3/4 of a mile. But it was good. I got around. I got to do an activity with the girls. I shared a couple of glimpses of that. Basically, they had to do a team building activity where they had pieces of paper and they had to go from one side of the courtyard to the other, about 30 feet or so, but they could only go by touching a paper. And the paper always had to either touch their feet or their hand. If not, they couldn't move. So they had to work together to do that. So that's what you saw. And they also did the girl wheel, which you saw, and they had to choose which place they felt they best belonged in, according to all those 5 different places of the wheel. And we noticed that no one went to the body part. So the girls were given a homework that tonight they had to think about 3 things that they liked about themselves. So I thought that was really good homework, and I'm going to do it myself as well. All right, so I'm very tired. My son is getting ready for me to go home, and I need to go home because I told myself this morning that I was not going to stay late. I've been staying late for the past 3 days. I want to get home as quick as possible. So I will gather up my things, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday, or like I say, Friday. And today's my funky t-shirt Friday, and I am wearing my favorite Zelda t-shirt. Obviously, this is from The Legend of Zelda, and his name is Link, not Zelda. And I also brought my Nintendo Switch to play with the kids during recess today. Also today, the desk fairy paid us a visit, and check out what the kids got on their desk for making sure the desks are really neat and clean. They got a little note from the fairy that says, "You're a super kid for keeping such a clean and organized desk. Way to go. Stay magical, the desk fairy." And they got this pencil that says, "Super kid." Super cute. So, all right, it's time for me to let them in and get my date started. So I will catch up with you later.
Pencils and magic wands and magic stars. Yay! I'm a super kid. Awesome. The desk fairy. Everybody got one. I'm a super.
Hello again, everyone. So it is now the end of the day. It is actually very late in the afternoon. It is actually about 6:15, and I'm so thankful for my son for being so understanding, because I've had to stay here pretty late because, one, I didn't have planning today because the music teacher was not feeling well. She didn't come in today, but they couldn't get her a sub because there were other teachers out. So our music time was canceled. Then during lunchtime, they let me know that on Monday, I need to go to a PD for the team that is going to be working with professional development for our school this year. So I knew I had to leave subplans. Now, I wanted to leave meaningful subplans, so I have been staying all this time trying to do subplans. On top of all that, I wasn't able to eat anything at lunch because, one, I wasn't really prepared getting my own lunch ready because I have to go grocery shopping, and I really didn't have anything to make lunch for me today. And I thought, well, maybe I could buy school lunch because it's only $3 for us teachers to purchase school lunch. But they didn't really have anything that I could really eat since I'm trying to, again, go back to limiting my dairy intake. I'm allergic to dairy. I have been eating it from time to time, and what it does is it creates wheezing and it affects my asthma. So I'm trying to stay away from it again. So I really couldn't eat anything, and I ate like a protein bar that I found at the vending machine. And it wasn't the best, but I ate something. But I'm really, really hungry right now because I am completely empty, and I have been getting really bad stomach pain, and I know it's because I need to eat. So I need to hurry up and get out of here, but I wanted to go ahead and show you what I put together for Monday's subplans. These are the first subplans that I do full day for my students because I'm not going to be here at all. And hopefully they will have a sub on Monday because the office was informed that I will not be here on Monday, so they should be getting me a sub, hopefully. But I'm leaving everything ready for the students to have a sub on Monday. Now, before I go into that, what we ended up doing today was the students were finishing up on their ebook storyboard, which I showed yesterday. Then they went ahead and finished their introductory booklet for Unit 1, Week 3. That they needed to finish doing the spade strategy as well as completing some comprehension questions. And I forgot to mention that today during reading, we were going over the differences between topic, main idea, and summarizing. And to help them with main idea and summarizing, I did show them 2 Flocabulary videos on both of those. And then I created this chart on the board, and I told the students that eventually when we start setting up our reading notebooks, which hopefully will be next week, they will add a chart similar to this in their notebooks so that they can remember the difference between topic, main idea, and summarizing. So this is a chart that I put on the board. Here is the chart, and as you can see, I go over a topic and I tell them it's the subject that they're reading about. It's just a few words. The main idea is a few words on what the text is about, usually about a sentence, and it's about the central point. And then the summary explains the most important parts of the text. In a few sentences, it shows the key idea and details. And in informational, I tell them that it answers the question who, what, when, where, why, and how, which can also be answered with literary. But with literary, I have them do somebody wanted, but so then finally. So this is a chart that they're eventually going to have in their notebooks, and I'm actually going to create it for them. When I do, I'll definitely share it with you all as well. So yes, that's what we did in addition to what they were already doing for reading this morning. Then after that, they went ahead and took their spelling test. We went to lunch. After lunch, we came right back here. They were finishing up on some math practice problems. And then we went over the chapter 2 review test to make sure that if they had any questions, I would answer them right before taking their test. They took their test, and then we had outdoor recess today, and it was amazing. They were running around. They got to go in the playground, and I'm so happy. I'm going to do that. I'm going to alternate recess every other week. 1 week we'll have indoor recess, and the other week we'll have outdoor recess. All right, so without further ado, let me go ahead and show you the subplans that I put together for Monday. So this is my subplan template that I am working towards having ready at some point. I don't know when right now, to be honest, because it has been a pretty hectic start to the year and there's a lot of things happening. But whenever I can, I'll make sure that I put it in my TPT store. But these are my subplans. So I start with my good morning message. I go over the do now. I'm having them do the I wish my teacher knew writing prompts so that I can read what they write. And I am leaving paper for them to write on. And I'm just showing the sub a sample heading so that they know how to head their paper. And then when they're done, they can just go ahead and party. Then for English and Language Arts, they are first going to do a handout on first-hand and second-hand account. So this is one that I found from biglearners.com, and I'll see if I can link it down below. But it shows the Oregon Trail, it shows a first-hand and a second-hand account, and then they have 5 questions to answer about it so that they can see the similarities and differences between both first-hand and second-hand account. So once they're done with that, they're going to go ahead and read in their Wonders Literature Anthology the passage Earthquakes. And as they're reading, they're going to complete this trifold that I, again, put together. I have a lot of these created for a lot of the passages in our Wonders series. So as you can see, they have to do a prediction before they read and write what they already know about earthquakes. As they read or after they read, they're going to do compare and contrast tsunamis to earthquakes because it is mentioned in the passage. Then they're going to work on text features, and on the back they have some reading comprehension questions that they need to answer based on that passage. So that is for reading. Then I have them going to art from 10 to 11 a.m. So I give instructions for the sub to take them to art. On the back, I continue with English and Language Arts. So after art, because they have until 11:30 for lunchtime, they can continue working on any of this that they haven't finished. Then they go to lunch, and then after lunch, I gave them all of these math practice pages. No, they don't have to really do all of them, but a lot of them are so simple and easy, and I didn't want to start a new chapter with them because I do want to teach it to them. So it's just about review, review, review. And again, I let the sub know not to assign anything for homework. Then for science, I went ahead and I created a review brochure on the entire topic 1. So this is what I ended up creating, and this is why it took me so long to get everything ready. But I created this from scratch, and basically it starts here by saying, did you know? And this is all like a closed paragraph or text where they fill in the blanks with important words to complete this paragraph. Then on the inside, it goes over space research, and they do this cause and effect chart, which is the same one they have in their notebooks, so they can definitely use their notebooks to fill this out. They have to either tell me the effect or the cause, etc. And I just noticed that I forgot to label these charts. Oh well, hopefully they can figure it out. Patterns of stars. So this is another closed passage, and they need to fill out with the words that best complete it. And moon phases is the same way. And then on the back, they need to describe how the moon appears to change the shape over 1 month, and they need to make sure they use the names of each phases of the moon in their description. And again, they have access to their book and their notes in order to complete this activity. Now, if they're done with this and they still have time, then I went ahead and had the sub have them complete the assessment on these pages and those numbers. For social studies, I also created a little foldable to review chapter 1 because, again, they're taking a test on it. And this is the foldable that I created, which is activities that were provided from us with our social studies curriculum, but I decided to put them all in one little booklet so that they can work on it. They have to complete an activity for each of the social sciences. So for the economists, they need to write a short story about a time when they earned money on their own and they create an illustration with a caption to go along with that story. On the inside, as a geographer, they're going to decide which state they might want to live in when they're an adult. They're going to draw a map of the state and they're going to explain their reasons for wanting to live in that state. For the political scientists, they're going to write a note to the principal in which they suggest an improvement to the school grounds. In your note, they need to explain to the principal why their opinion matters. And I set it up like a friendly letter so that they can write down their note. On the back is the historian. And here they're going to create a timeline showing one of their family members past using the vertical line. I did do it vertically because I didn't have space and I'm making a booklet. If not, it would be horizontal. But I did it vertically so that they can show important life events that happened starting when that person was born. So they'll put the name of the person here and then they need to have at least 5 events. So I set it up like this so that they can go ahead and create their timeline. And next to each tick, they're going to draw a symbol to represent that event. So those are the subplans that I have left for my sub, and now I'm going to organize it a little better on my desk. Oh, additionally, I went ahead and I created this behavior management for the sub. I'm really proud of how this came out. I just got the idea. So to help manage behavior today, please draw a star on the sky below each time the class does something amazing. Here are some reasons to give stars. So I give some suggestions, and then I tell the sub to please read this to the students so they know what they're working towards. And if the class reaches 10 or more stars, I will give the whole class a special treat. So this is something cute that I put together. I really love it. And then I also added student shout outs. So this is for the whole class and this is individual. So fill out a little note square below if you would like to give a shout out to students who did an exceptional job today. Be sure to include their name and why they're receiving a shout out. So I give it a little example and then I leave a couple of other shout out blank notes so that they can go ahead and do that. And then on the back, I have the whole comment form where they can tell me their day and tell me which students followed rules and which students didn't follow rules so that I can address that when I come back. And those are my sub plans. And like I said before, now I'm going to organize this a little better for my sub so that it's all ready to go for Monday. Here is the entire setup for my sub. So I put the plans right here in front of my computer's keyboard. And I put everything with sticky notes along with the times and the subject that they correspond to. Math is not shown because math is all a bunch of practice pages that the students will complete. So that is my setup for my sub for Monday. So that's basically what I have been doing today, what I just did. I hope you got some ideas from that. I was really proud of the whole draw the stars in the night sky for every time the class does something amazing. And hopefully that will help with behavior management when I am not here. I'm looking forward to see how it turns out. And I'll be sure to give my reflection on Tuesday when I return back to my classroom. All right, so that is the end of Friday. This is the second day of the last 2 days of this week. If you'd like to see what happened on the first 3 days of this week, I'll leave a link down below. I titled that one Phasing Through the School Week, and I did that on purpose as a pun because we were working on the phases of the moon and we did that fun Oreo activity with the moon phases. So check it out. It'll be linked down below. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and let me know what you thought or any questions you may have. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I hope you have a beautiful, magical day, and don't forget to smile. I'll see you next time.